I feel like negativity in the world right now is actually a good thing, you know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate because we are waking up to things that were alive for a long time, and we are waking up to a certain way that we used to live, and it's like, dang, what should I do now, kind of? Or, you know, look at the state of the world, look at the jobs, look at the fact that people are waking up to toxic family systems, so they got to separate from the people that they love, even friends, or whatever the case may be. Like, so many people are waking up to the way of the world, and we perceive it as negative. We're like, what happened to the world? What the guy say in the Black Eyed Peas song? What's wrong with the world, mama? People living like ain't got no mama. And that was like 20 years ago. That was early 2000s. So the way the world was back then, people still seen it the same way. They seen it as toxic. It was sad. Things was going on. Where is the love? We focus so much on the negativity in this world that we are forgetting that not only are we in times that feel like revelation, the revelation in the Bible, and not only are we in times where things are so demonic, but we ignoring the fact that it's a large percentage of people that are healing and working on themselves and recognizing things that happen within their lives that they feel like they need to change or work on or grow from. You feel what I'm saying? We all really focus so much on the negative because that's how we were programmed to be for years and years. But we are ignoring the fact that, yes, there's a lot of negative happening, but on the flip side, there are a lot of people that are healing. A lot of people are coming to realization like, yo, this is what I need to work on. It's not easy, but I know it's possible. Look at all the information out here. You feel what I'm saying? So unfortunately, I feel like right now this has to happen. You feel me? I feel like this has to happen. All the negative things that are happening, it's just like in history. A crazy situation had to happen for something positive to bloom from it, or in order for us to have certain conversations moving forward. You feel what I'm saying? Because we were living a certain way for so long. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't take these times and acknowledge the negativity within it, but what I'm saying is, right now we crashed the ship, right? We was driving the ship, we was floating along, you know what I'm saying? We was floating along, then we crashed. Right now we are in a moment where we looking at the ship, like, yo, what's going on? Why did we crash? You know what I'm saying? Like, so we looking at this ship right now, we analyzing our lives, we analyzing our family systems, we analyzing the celebrity realm, we analyzing everything in general, that all the lies we were told. But now is our job to determine how we're going to get this ship back on the sea, but not have it have the same way, because we eventually going to crash again, right? That's why all the time I hear like the Men versus Women podcast, the Black Community Talks, the narcissism, all these different things. Now that the ship is crashed, we got to take what we were taught from the past, take all the good qualities from that, apply it to ourselves now in the present to move forward with how we gonna raise our kids now, how we gonna have less manipulation, which how we gonna not idealize all the celebrities so much, with how we gonna, you know, look at life differently. And as a whole, I know some of y'all gonna say, oh, I've never did that with celebrities, that was y'all, whatever. I'm just saying, as a whole, the reason why I say stuff like that is because that's generally what a lot of people were doing, and that's part of, oh snaps, that's part of the lies that that we were living in. Think about the vibes, especially before 2020. We had a point where there's so many conversations, but eventually these conversations have to transition into some type of solutions. Like, you can't say that was toxic masculinity, but what are we doing now? We just gonna sit around and talk about what our parents did? We just gonna sit around and talk about the fact that celebrities are fake? You know what I'm saying? I know there's a time where something happens and we all sit, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But just like that guy said, we've been talking about a lot of these things for a long time, 4 to 8 years, especially the men versus women war and all that stuff. And the narcissism has been 4 or 5 years for me. So now it's like, what are we doing moving forward? So look at the negativity in the world currently as a positive, because it put us in position to look at everything that's going on, all the lies we were told, And now we can move differently. Now we can see things differently. Now we can love each other differently. Now we cannot operate out of trauma. You feel what I'm saying? I know in this generation, we automatically call somebody toxically positive when they try to highlight negative things and look at a more positive perspective. But sometimes you need toxic positivity. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes you need situations where you're like, dang, this is so messed up, but how can I look at the good in it? But right now, we got to the point where we figured it out. We've been talking about it for a while. Now, how can we move forward? How can we be like, okay, this happened. My mom was toxic. My dad was toxic. The celebrity realm is out of pocket. Politics are fake. Now everybody waking up to it. So everybody, let's come together. The ones that have the mindset. We have the awareness, and let's do something with it. Let's not just sit around like, oh man, poor us. We did that long enough. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody gonna get to that at a different time, but those who are ready, let's get it. You feel what I'm saying? As one of those people that have self-awareness and you are a leader, whether it's in a small way or a big way, you know what I'm saying? We all different. You already know my slogan. I'm different, you different, we different. But the negative of this time is the fact that I feel like people allow their egos to get in the way and confusion gets in the way. So on this journey, you're going to connect with other people that are leaders, that are self-aware as well. But some of them have high levels of ego. I've run across them to the point where it could jeopardize the mission that y'all on. If we on the same mission, we shouldn't be competing. But nowadays with social media, people want to be the if I'm talking about fire hydrants, fire hydrants weren't the same for the last 20 years. They want to be that guy that mentioned that the firefighters, you know what I'm saying? Now, yes, if you were the pioneer, that's what's up, like Soulja Boy said. I mentioned this because this is something you got to look for. So on one end, people are going to be on the same mission as you, but they got envy in their heart, so they willing to tear you down. Meanwhile, they doing the same thing as you, right? You got those people who are on the same mission as you, but the ego gets in the way. Then you got the other people who appear on the same mission as you, but they are actually against the very mission you're doing, but they get close to you and mimic what you do to try to tear you down. So those two things are very important. The people that get close to you on this journey as a self-aware person, as a leader, you're going to have people that get close to you that their ego, their jealousy, and their envy gets in the way, and they want to tear you down because they want your spot, or they want to be the sole person that said this. Oh, I'm the narcissistic abuse guy. I'm the light pole guy. I'm the tree guy. I told everybody about this. You ain't that, you know what I'm saying? So those people, you got to push them to the side. You feel what I'm saying? So it's two sides of the same coin, you know? Ego moved in a different way. This person's so egotistical with jealousy and envy that they want everybody to like be suppressed, and they want to be that top guy. You feel me? And the crazy part is they typically only doing it for validation. They're not doing it to help people, to wake up people, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So they want to be the top guy, and they want to suppress everybody else in their own little different ways. If you get deep into like corporate or into some of these companies, it gets wild. You know what I'm saying? I've heard some crazy stories. I've watched some crazy stuff where men be unaliving people that they in competition with, or that they want to suppress, or they unalive somebody in their family. It's wild out here. It's the spiritual warfare. So you got people like that who want to tear you down because they want to be top guy, and then you got other people that will rise with you, be next to you, but in reality they against the very mission you speak on. And the last but not least other distraction that you will have is you will have people that unfortunately God created in a way where they're either stagnant, or they can only pretend like they on the same frequency as you in regards to perspective, in regards to going where you trying to go. They just not like that. So they want to be around you because you cool, and they like your energy, and they like your vibe, and they like the fact that you self-aware. They like the fact that you talking on these things that people lie on. Have been lying about for generation and generation, but they can't step into your purpose. So they'll start to distract you in the midst of you chasing your purpose, because eventually you're going to outgrow them, and it's going to feel uncomfortable. So they're going to try to make you feel uncomfortable, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. So unfortunately, some people can't be around you when you're trying to go where you need to go, even if they cool. You know what I'm saying? They might show you they cool in a lot of different ways. They might let you borrow their sneaks, but But in these times that we living in, you got to be able to channel your energy. You got to be able to pick your battles. You feel what I'm saying? You got to be able to look at the negatives, especially right now in this life, and be like, all right, it's a lot of negativity going on right now, but you can look at it as a negative and then channel it into something positive. Not in a toxically positive way, in an understanding way. I understand that we realizing this and this and this and this, and this was a lie, and this was a lie, and this was a lie. Let me chill for a little bit. Let me let it sit. Let me heal. Let me cry. Let me get frustrated. And then it's going to get to a point where, like I said, you crash the ship. Now let's figure out why it's not working. Now let's move forward with, okay, my ship was broken, but now I'm about to put this little piece on there and this little piece on there. My ship going to run even better. We don't want to sit in the fact that the ship crashed and we just sitting there like, grab me a beer and watch my ship crash. No, bro. Let's move forward. And in the midst of this is how you find your purpose. This is how you find your purpose, because imagine everything that happened in this world is a cake, right? And they cut them in slices, right? And each part of the things that happen are things you can tap into. Self-awareness, breaking generational curses, people that got essayed, people that come from dysfunctional families, people that have this problem or that problem or that problem, are each a slice of the cake. Each slice of the cake is a problem that can be fixed, that can be spoken on, that self-awareness can be spread towards, or whatever the case may be. Grab a slice of that cake and be like, this is my slice. This is what I'm going to focus on. This is what I'm going to make people aware of. This is what I'm going to speak on. This is what I'm going to help people get past. You can grab 2 slices. You can deal with people from dysfunctional families, people that got essayed, people that like to walk across the ocean, whatever. That's how you find your purpose, baby. To end this video off, I'm going to say this. It's okay to recognize that things were negative, that you come from negativity, that the world has been a lie for a long time. We living in weird times. But try your best to sit with it as much as you can. Have the conversations that you need. And then, bang, let's step down. Put our foot down and figure out where we're going to go next. Now, we might even take a step forward and take a step back like, oh, that's not going to work. You know, take a step forward, take a step back. Oh, that's not going to work, right? But we at least trying something different. We're not just sitting around talking about the fact that, oh, our parents did this. Or sitting around the fact that, oh, Donald Trump did this. LeBron James did this. Bro, okay, the time is passing. Let's try to do something so we can make a change for the future to help other people and create the new blueprint moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Why not? And what triggered this video was I was on TikTok for the last couple years talking about narcissistic abuse. I've seen a lot of conversations in regards to black men or just men in general, how they should operate in this generation, how women are on the OnlyFans, and just how the world is moving in general. And I just feel like everything is a conversation because we fell in love with podcasts. But in the men community, there's a small percentage of men who are actually realizing that how our parents was moving and how a lot of the men who were moving back then wasn't good. And then they trying to move forward. There's a small percentage of women that are recognizing that how they moving now too, very degenerate, and also how they were before is not okay. Not by their fault, but just by the fact that they were less independent because of the way society was and stuff like that. So they transitioned from that way of moving to this extreme. You feel me? So all these different conversations that we having with no change is something that I feel like needs to be talked about. In no way, shape, or form am I saying that any of these things are wrong per se, because all of that is subjective and we all different. I'm different, you different, we different. All I'm saying is the way we moving right now, whatever you want to call it, degenerate, whether you want to call it toxic, whether you want to say Donald Trump, there's, like I said, whatever. It's not conducive for our lives right now, and we can feel it. We move from one extreme to the whole other side of the extreme in every way possible, and it's not healthy. It don't feel right. It feels off. Relationships are trash. Friendship, all this stuff that we've waken up to, and then it pushed us to operate in this way because we feel like, let me do this now because that was wrong, and it's not right either. So in order for us to get to a point where we want to make change to see if that's right, we don't have the answers, but we're just trying to see if that's right. Also want to throw in there that we got to focus on what we can control. So I just mentioned Donald Trump because people always mention him, but like in regards to like the The people up there, is nothing we can do. A lot of them are narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths, individuals that'll never change, and they manipulate and gaslight people, and they only allow their type of people within that system, and that system runs the whole world. So we can only focus on how can we live our lives that is more conducive for us on this realm. We got to focus on what's going on down here to create solid lives for us as much as we can without trying to control, oh, they doing this or they doing that. Protests are cute. Calling people out on social media is cute. Trying to do crazy stuff and to get attention is cute, but we got to start down here first. You know what I'm saying? We got to start down here and try to create solid lives. Don't make ourselves miserable down here, but then still blame them. Bro, they are who they are. It's nothing we can do, like, right now.